Okay, this is the recording for assessment workout number 3. And our first motion are pulse squats. Remembering we want to try and keep a wide base in the feet, keep the heels on the floor, go down as low as you're comfortable, and give a little pulse and come back up. Arms across the chest as usual. Next one is heel-toe rockers. So I assume the squat position and drop down to a squat. First pull my heels off my floor, then pull the balls of the feet off the floor. And we're going to keep the hands across the chest if we can. Finally into the isometric squat hold. So it's 60 seconds. Remember, I'm going to really reach forward with my hands, stay on my heels, push my tailbone backwards, try and distribute weight throughout the body. Breathing is very important here. So actively breathe in, breathe out as you engage abs up and in, and also pelvic groups. The next one is a bend over isometric hold. And same idea here. I'll just bend over, hopefully with my trunk around 90 degrees, my hands across the chest. I have a big load in front of me, my heavy head. So I'm going to take my anchor behind me, which is my butt, squeeze the butt, and work on breathing as usual. And that hold will be for 60 seconds. Into the plank series, we have the long lever, opposite hand, arm and leg hold called the bird dog reaches. You want to do 12 on each side. Remembering on this move, I'll focus on the non-moving extremities, the one that stays on the floor, and grind them into the floor, make them really heavy, and then float the opposite two off the floor. Right from there, we're going to go right into the front plank hold for 1 minute. This is an isometric as well, so I'm not moving. I want to have my nose over the thumbs. I want to have my belly button up and in. Remember to create that box of support. So 2 elbows and 2 feet lined up in a rectangular square. And work on the breathing. How long can you breathe out? How long can you breathe in? We go into our plyometrics here. So jumping jacks, we're going to go for 40 standard style jumping jacks. And everybody knows how to do that one. Just keep the feet moving and try and stay light on the feet. I go into my burpee extensions. These are on the floor. Hands go down, feet jump out to the plank, feet jump back in. Make sure you bring your feet pretty close to your hands when you come back up, and lift your head up, look up, and stand up into the extension. If you need some help with these burpees, then use an elevated platform, a bench, a chair, something like that, instead of going down to the floor. The next movement is the isometric V-sit hold. I'll sit on the floor, take my feet off the floor, hands across the chest, and try and hold the position. Same principles apply. Belly button up and in here. Work on the breathing pattern. Engage pelvic groups. Try and keep your head and chest up as opposed to chin down and forward flex. Next is called a reverse single leg hip bridge. So I'm on my elbows this time, and I'll have my hips off the floor, my trunk off the floor, and 1 foot on the floor, 1 leg off the floor. This one's a little tricky. It takes flexibility and also isometric strength. But our goal is 30 seconds with 1 leg off the floor, and then 30 seconds with the other leg off the floor. And that equals 1 minute on this plank hold. Our next move is side leg swings. And so we stand on 1 leg, swing the other leg across the body and hopefully across our midline, our other standing leg. And the idea is not to touch the leg to the floor. Pelvic strength, very important here. Keep the knee loose, a slight bend in the knee, and keep the core strong. Then on the same leg, we do the RDL drop hinge. So I hinge at the hips and bring my trunk parallel to the floor. 1 leg on the floor and 1 leg hopefully not touching the floor. You can use your arms to counterbalance out to the side for this one. Remember, on the way down, tight tummy. On the way up, tight butt. So anterior groups forward, posterior groups backwards. I will then repeat those movements on the other side, the other leg. Finally, we're going to go into the short lever side plank hold where I'm on my elbow and hopefully my feet are stacked on one another. You can also stagger your feet and put one behind you for a little extra stability. But we're going to hold this for 30 seconds on one side. When you make your switch, try not to touch your hip to the floor. So don't lose the plank position, but stay engaged and keeping your body weight off the floor. We'll switch right over and hold the other side for 30 seconds. When you're in the position, push your elbow into the floor, reach your hand high, and work on breathing.